Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm installing it off, one sec. I'm installing it off the floppies, you know, simulated. So just bear with me, because whichever way I tried, it wouldn't run. So I'm actually literally just using the floppy installation. So it does install a Tappy drivers. Probably a universal one, not Adaptec. So yeah, they're just controllers, future down. What? SCSI controllers. It's a bit of a time consumer, this. I think really what you got to do, you see, what I was originally doing was installing it from a DOS environment, but I think it has to have its own dedicated, so I'd have to probably delete. I've actually created 2 drives, hard disks, in this emulator, right? One is about 500 gigabytes and 500 megabytes, sorry, and the other one is about just under a gigabyte. So what we need to do is install it onto, I think I'll install it onto the primary drive, but I've got a feeling that what this setup program, it's been a while since I last used these programs. Here we go. So we're just gonna do the last floppy, which is boot image 4. I don't know whether you can see them screens. I'm using the standard built-in Windows screen capture program, and it's sort of a bit dodgy. It doesn't always work correctly. I think that's where I'm getting maybe the problems with with my headset. But I'm trying different programs at the moment, so bear with me. But I don't know whether or not it's a hardware issue or it's whether or not it's a software issue, because I used to get really distorted sounds, really bad voices, out of sync, and I don't know whether or not it was to do with this screen capture thing, this Xbox screen chat capture, or whether or not it's something physically to do with the hardware or a driver. I know I've replaced the drivers, new drivers, everything, still getting the same poop, as they say. Oh, poo woo 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 woo. You know, like he was the type of person that wrote the software for industrial controllers. So you know, like, 1 second. Let's just, I'll explain it in a minute. Right, we need to. You know, like houses. You know, you get your bricks. Well, the machine that made the bricks was automated, computer automated. It was my father that made that machine that made the bricks. And he would be like, and he worked for a lot of things. He worked for the is it BNFL in Cumbria? He worked there for about 3 years because he wanted to work with nuclear stuff, and he worked in the nuclear. He was a software developer, obviously. He worked for Siemens. He worked for working on S7s. He worked on. I don't think he had anything to do with transputers or anything like that, but mainframes, computer software, hardware, electronics. He yeah, he had a lot of involvement in the technology that came to the UK, especially computers. Yeah, he passed away in. Obviously, I'm still grieving. You never get over these things, do you? He passed away in February of 2024. Um, he had lots of problems, but he's greatly missed. But I think he still haunts me. But he was always like that. My father, my dad, God rest him, was a good man. Um, so I'm pretty quiet at the moment. Um, I always got the hand-me-downs, as they say, you know, always. And the computers what it gave me were not cheap computers. I mean, they were high spec Dells, and you know, the most of the computers what I got were like Dell XPSs and Dimensions and all that. And they were brand new, and you used to get them directly from supplier, like say like Dell, Lenovo, and all that kind of stuff. So he never like got cheap tat. Yeah. He was having a guitarist actually, my father. He was really good with the guitar, and he almost had a chance because he was. 1 second. He was really good at playing the guitar, right? And he almost got a contract to play with Roy Orbison. We on free. Yeah, he almost had a chance of playing, you know, with Roy Orbison, because he was good with a guitar, but he never did. But he did he kept his guitar hobby way up until he practically, you know, he passed away. Basically, he used to play for little whole care homes and stuff as he retired. He was really, but he was always into the Shadows. You know, the group the Shadows, Hank Marvin, and he could play like Hank Marvin. He wasn't as good as Hank Marvin, never in a million years, but he was quite a good player. I've been bitten on my leg by, I think the mosquito or ants, but it looks like I've just been a complete blanket of bites on my legs. I don't live in the UK, even though I left the UK in 2017. Well, I got married in 2017, came back to the UK to sort out any loose ends, debts and all that kind of stuff. Then left. I went to the Philippines. I actually now reside in the Philippines. I've been here since then. Um, and the only, you know, one thing I do not miss is getting bitten by ants. Or should I say, one thing I do miss is not getting bitten by ants in the UK, because they'd freeze to death. And mosquitoes, you don't really get mosquitoes. You get midges and all that kind of stuff, but I've never known. Yeah, I know you do get them, um, but the only thing I've found over here is just constant either dog barking, cats everywhere. Right, okay, we're on for the last one. We are going on to the fourth one. It's amazing, isn't it? Because the original, you know, obviously Windows XP, Windows 9, well, Windows 98 and Windows 95, originally before CD-ROMs were all distributed on floppies. If one floppy, you're knackered. I think there was about, I think with the Home Edition version of Windows on XP, I think that, or was it 95? I think it was Windows 95 when it came on. I think 27 discs, 27 1.4s, floppies. And if one of them were damaged, you're screwed. But thank God CD's ROM come along. Right, fingers crossed, let's not go a blue screen of death. I think it runs on the startup, doesn't it? It will ask, I've got a feeling it'll ask silence. We're waiting, we're anticipating. Do not give us a blue screen of death for no particular reason. That's the only thing I hate about blue screen of deaths. If you're an engineer, you know exactly what I mean. You know, I don't mind, but it's supposed to be simulating new hardware. But still used to get blue screens of death. Especially with products which were, you know, USB digitally signed. Don't install that printer. I think you saw that one. I think it was Windows 98. 2000 would support USB, obviously, because it was on the days of Windows NT, because it was about the same time as NT. I think NT came out around about 2001, 2023, depending on which version you got. Because they started to involve the NT operating system within versions after ME. That was a terrible operating system. If you ever got a distribution of a copy of Windows ME and it was a guy smashing a keyboard over a screen in the video, that was me. I done that and then circulated it. I don't think it's running a memory manager on this because it's taking for a while for it to kick in. Oh, this is taking a while, isn't it? Setup is starting Windows at 2000 for the last 4 hours. Nah, I hope it runs. Usually it changes the resolution, doesn't it? And then I think it uses the 50 lines. I don't think, you know what, obviously with Linux and stuff, you can run it off a terminal, which was a text-based. I think Windows has to be graphic interface. But you sort of think about it, well, Windows and proverbially in quotes server should run off a text, you know, a text model anyway. I know you can run it through, you know, a serial terminal, but the main system which handles it all, has that got to be a graphics terminal? I don't know. Someone mentioned it in the comments, because I've never come across a version of Windows where it's entirely text. And this is just like taking forever. I'm tempted to reboot the machine actually. It's just taking like a lifetime. I'll get back to you if the screen changes. I'm just going to log off for a sec. Ciao for now. Typical. Literally, I logged off and it just appeared. So right, what we're going to do is set up now. So we're going to remove the floppy skulls. Right, and we're going to boot the system. Off we go. Oh look, F8, and we're going to install it to that drive. We'll now put it, yeah. So all it basically doing is, because you can install like you can with Windows, anything above 98 ME, you can install to a secondary drive. Those were the days. Because earlier ones you needed to be on a primary, because it's a primary partition in it, and it won't allow it. I don't think it happens with Linux that you can install it anywhere. You can install it on toilet tissue if you wanted. Install it on a pen drive. You can install operating systems now obviously on pen drives, but they need access to memory allocation. You know, it'll run, I don't know actually, because these distributions like, what was it, Ryzen CD and all that, they run from memory, don't they? They just loaded the operating system into the RAM, providing you have enough RAM. I didn't realise it was 750 megabytes you need for. That's probably why I had loads of problems installing it. But obviously I'm just demoing this, so that does sort of gives you the journey. I've probably done about 4 hours video of this. Here we go. Right, he's creating a list of files. I remember doing this with a guy, an Asian guy. I've not seen him in decades, but he got me to install. He bought a full license version of Windows 2000 from a computer shop. But what he wanted to do was learn how to build computers. So I ended up building it, and it's exactly the same spec as this machine. But you're talking about, it was around 2000, just before maybe. No, it would have been about maybe 2001, because he bought the hardware from a computer shop. Went wild on a credit card. Yeah, it's amazing now, because you can get a computer for the amount of money he spent on that computer back then. You can get an all powerful laptop or PC, literally the equivalent of, say, an i9 now. And all he done was put BearShare on it. That was a risk. I remember him coming to me, he says, Nick, that's from my name obviously, I've got a problem. I think the computers are acting slow. Why? What have you been doing? I've been downloading. Alright, what are you using? BearShare. I almost hit the wall. Boom, boom, boom. Butting the wall I was. He installed what? He says it's got viruses on it. Alright, okay. Alright Mo, what next? So he showed me the computer, and it had 160,000 viruses on it. But I one of these programs which was a fake one, you know, to try and get you to buy a license for a fake piece of software which says you've got to like all these viruses. But I spent intensely about 4 hours trying to sorting out this machine. In the end I just wiped it. I said, whatever you do, don't put BearShare on. And we ended up, I think I ended up setting up torrents on it, because he was Pakistani. He wanted Pakistani movies. Now, with Pakistani movies, there's no copyright legislation with them, so you can download them. And the music as well, the Asian music, the Asian music scene, there's no copyright. I wonder if that's assimilating. It must be using the correct drivers for the CD-ROM drive. But yeah, those were the days. I worked in a college. I worked as technical support for a college, and I'd always build these machines up for Nick. Can you sort out this, or can you do that? A lot of the computers were donated to charities. So my job was to check the machines out, write down the spec of them, upgrade them if they're suitable for going in offices, you know, to do with Sage accounting. And I worked in the sector where I was operating in the nationwide area of Manchester, just going from Rochdale to I've travelled all over the place. Rochdale, Bolton, I think Blackpool. I think the furthest I went for was Blackpool. There were these places in Blackpool. Didn't get to see anywhere, but I didn't mind it to me because, you know, obviously the place where I worked, they provided me with money for food and bits and pieces like that. All I had to do was just bring my laptop bag, which had a CD-ROM drive. You know, one of those exportable CD-ROM drives, you know, the portable ones. Driver disc, the burgundy disc, which were the Windows XP discs. I think they were XP. Boot floppies, an extra mouse, an extra keyboard, because the keyboards and the mice in them colleges were absolutely manky. So I brought my own keyboard and my own mouse. But I would go along, and because we had a group license for them systems, I would be able to go onto the machines, and I'd spend a good amount of day maybe coming back and forward to these same places. I think it was Rochdale. I think I went there for a week, but all I just done is get up in the mornings where I was living and go. I wasn't driving at the time, so we'd have to commute. So I went down to where, because I lived in Manchester, I had to drive to Rochdale. They were nice enough. It was just like three old women in this little college place. And then it was like a couple of teachers and all these students. And what I'd basically do is go into the colleges. If the technical support who handled the Sage systems, or the admin, and obviously the computers, because they needed even networked machines running on their own, I would set up the machines with updated versions of Windows, updated versions of the drivers, any hardware what fails, I was brought in to repair it. A lot of them, actually, the biggest problem I had when I went there was you had the old Desk Pros, mainly the Desk Pros, compact Desk Pros, which were donated. And what I'd do is I'd open them up and find that some sneaky little guy had nicked the memory. I'd nicked the memory sticks out of the computers. So they obviously knew what they were, because they weren't cheap back then. But remember, it was coming up to Christmas, and this college, this charity what I was working for, got given 12 brand new laptops, donated 12 brand new compact laptops, Armadas, brand new in box. And me and the guy who I worked with, we had to strip them all down. Open the boxes and take them all out, make sure they all worked, install new operating systems, because they were bare bones. There was no operating system on them. They had no Windows on them. You just turned it on and it was nothing. It would just go straight to the BIOS. So obviously we had to sort them out, and he wanted a quick way to do it. So back then I think I designed a disk image, and I just platform, because they were exactly the same hardware, other than maybe one had, a couple of had 512 meg and a couple of them had, say, 640. I don't know. You're going back like a lot of years. Maybe the CPU's changed, because there were a couple of them which were 300s, 600s, and 533s like these, like what this is simulating. Hive. Okay, what's it got to do? It should reset now, and it should. Yeah, US. Here we go. They weren't ready yet in regards to. Oh look. Server family. Okay. That's a sight for sore eyes I've not seen in a long time. Now the big problem is, with the big thing is it registered? Does it ask for a serial key? Not that it matters. Advanced server on the info folder. Here we go. Here we go. Installing devices. God help us. Actually, it was more accurate than the Windows one, but this is where the time's going to be taken. It's going to be like another 70 minutes of this trying to find a mouse driver. Right, we're back, and obviously it's done its scan. It's coming back to the screen that we used to. Right, localities. Right, so what we're going to do? United States. Slow and clunky, innit? The keyboard is basically the same as the States anyway, but we can set up default. Right, okay. You can tell it's been a while since the last. Right, okay, so we're going to go Kcin. Don't need to do that. Oh. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to give it a key. Now this is a key where I can drag off the internet, right? So M is there going to be a god? Finally! What per se, each computer must have its own client access license. Okay. I think I could just leave it as it is actually. There we go. Cannot be renamed. Alright, okay. Remote installation service, terminal licensing, Windows Media Services. Not that I'm going to probably use it, but you never know. No solitaire or games on this. I bet there is solitaire. Yeah, I told you. It's a solitaire in there. Pinball and solitaire. It was one of their big primary ones. Actually, I think pinball and, well, mainly pinball. That is actually from Dave Plummer as well. What's in the communications? Freebie internet access terminal. Phone dialer, which you don't need, it's only the modem. Hyperterminal. I don't think I'll be bothering with these actually, it's just to have a look at the operating system being installed. Right, let's go for it. I've picked Philippines, but yeah, it's still asking for 10G. Right, okay. Pacific meantime. Right, so yeah, that's right. It's under 152. It's actually 252. Okay. Can't tell if the mouse is. Oh, there it goes. Thought it was. There's no network cards or anything, so it should just zip through this. I had to reinstall like I'm doing now. But other ones would I could install a startup, you know, a disk image. Not like we can do now, like Macrium and well, it was Ghost. I think I used to go use Ghost. Because Ghost was more reliable with DOS systems, not with Windows, early DOS and MS-DOS, FAT32, fat environments, FATs. Not NTFS. It wasn't really compatible with NTFS back then. But it seems to be taking a little time. It's nearly finished, and my wife's getting ready to go out, so I'm going to have to take her to get some water and stuff, and our lunch. So I'm going to love you and leave you, but I'm just going to stop for a minute because obviously I'll wait for the next screen to appear. Alright guys, we're back. Well, I think we're just finishing off then. Oh my. I think that's about it ready really now. I think it gets tying up. That's actually not too bad that. It only took a couple of hours to do this process this way. It should just log it straight into it now because I've not got a password. Unless it's a blank password. Because usually if you don't set a password it's blank. Oh, there you go. So now if I just go like that. Oh. Okay. Right, so I'm assuming now. Whoop. There we go, it's logging in. This was a lot more versatile at setting up networks and work groups and stuff compared to the other versions. You know, like the early NT. I've got NT5 anyway, or NT4. I'll have to check that out, and we'll be compiling that in a bit. And you listen to me moan about everything else. What temperature are you at? 29 degrees. Oh look. Ooh, it's got all the effects on. We'll play with that in a bit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually call it a day now, guys. It is that time. I've had enough. We're going to shut down and we're going to call it a day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now. In fact, what I'm probably going to do is you'll see me more use this one for a little bit while I run through the maybe set up networking and stuff. Right, ciao for now. Bye. Alright guys, we're back. Right, what we're going to do today is we're going to have a go at installing Windows 2000. I think I've got 2000, haven't I? 2000, where are you? Have I got it? I think I've got a backup of it somewhere. And I'm sure I had it. Where is it? Am I going blind? '98. I thought I had it. Where's the 2000? Oh, there it is. Duh. Right, okay, so obviously, well, it's an ISO. It's something I grabbed off some website with Service Pack 4 in it and advisory version server. Advanced server, sorry. Bear with me, guys, I've just woke up. I'm just having a coffee. We need a coffee, don't we? When a man invented the wheel, they also invented coffee. Right, we are here. We've got sorted out now that one. I don't know whether or not there's a key. I might have to get a key for it. So let's go and get a key. Just simplified. I'll just record the screen. No, should I do it off screen? Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm always a bit, what's the word per se, snotty in the mornings. Pardon my French. Oh, we're advanced. Advanced. Server 2000. Key. Excuse me. Wow, I'm always dusty in the mornings. Oh. Right. We got a key there? No, we've got a key. Someone give us a key somewhere. No, there's a server CD key. There you go, there's the key there. So we can just use a public domain, you know, a public access one. Alright, what I'm going to do now, 250. I'm going to create a new file. So we're going to run the 86 box. Why do I call, you know why? Because they used to work with 68000 and that's why I get it mixed up. Oh, excuse me. I'm Richie. What's in that? Oh. I'm a bit grotty this morning. Excuse me for being horribly sounding. Oh. I don't know what that file is. It's not a key, is it? Ah, no, it's just a distributor. So, right, okay, we have a PC. An old PC. Right, okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to, we don't need to access this one. Is it crashing? Has it crashed? F4 and F12 takes you back out of the menu. Right, we need to go to right, okay, so what we need to do is we need to set up another hard drive. Just wait for the program to load up. There we go. Right, what we need now is, let's go to the machine. Windows 2000, so it'll run on a Super Socket 7, probably. I'll use that on the MMX 300 megahertz. Yeah, I will probably give it a bit more memory than phone. I can take up to 1 megabyte. Will it go up to 1 meg? Yeah, there you go. So it's 1000 meg. Right, so that's that motherboard. Display, just use what video card. We'll take the video out and we'll put in some velocity, 3D velocity. I don't know these. VD3 2000. Right. Has he got memory change? No, so I think it shares the memory. Right, okay. So in other words, it's a chipset. Shouldn't have done that. Right, okay. Right, what we need to do now is we'll go to input devices, make sure it's the mouse is okay, right. Sound card, Sound Blaster 16. Well, we're running it as a server, so we don't need any sound card. Network card, probably. I'll have a look, I'll play around with that later. Printer port, line printer, no, storage device, configuration. I could set it up with a SCSI or something, but now they're actual controllers, aren't they? Right, okay. I'll just use the one. I'm assuming it's got one on board, simulating. Right, hard drive. We need to remove that. Remove that, and we're going to create a drive called. I'll just put it in WinNT at the moment, because that's basically what 2000 is. Right, so we'll go WinNT and we'll go today's date, which is the 6th of the 7th, 24. That'll do. We need. Will it go any further than that? Will it go any bigger than that? Custom. Found in 18. Custom large. Yeah. 800 megabytes, 850 megabytes. I think we should, mind you, it doesn't really matter because we're only testing it out, aren't we? So we can just go 500 megabytes. No, we'll just do 500. We'll just do there. So that's all right. There's 1 and 0 on ID. We'll just use IDE. Yeah, there's all the other MFM. Could use it. No, just use IDE. So large blocks. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's right. So so it's primary floppy drive controller. We just got a floppy disk drive. We've got a CD-ROM drive, and that's just an Mitsumi one, which is a common one. Okie dokie. I'm not too sure when. I think Windows 2000 is bootable. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Media, Open, whoops, Image, and we need to launch that one. So we take off the floppy, and you. Oh, is there not one installed? All right, okay. Oh, there you go. What a weird setup. I need to move that then. 0, 0. All right, so it requires a boot disk. So what we've got to go to do now is to get a boot disk for it. I think you might be able to probably start it up with a boot disk of. Yeah, we'll wing it. We'll wing it. We'll do it. We'll do another way of doing it. So if we go to the boot with the DOS environment, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do that. So what we do now is we just go hard reset. Because I don't think it, if I remember rightly, I don't think it requires to be on a master boot on an IDE 0 to boot. It'll actually boot for any drive. As far as I'm aware, the older machines only you had to be like primary master, right? Okay. All right. What's going on here? Non-system. Oh right. Okay. Non-system disk. Did I pick the wrong disk? That one. I picked that. I'm just going to go back into it because I'm not happy with that drive. I need to storage hard drives. I need to change that to 00. Now I'm hoping that should give that drive, the controller should point straight for the hard disk being on the primary master. Yeah, there you go. Right, okay. That's exactly how I wanted it. Right, okay, so non-system disk on disk error. What a fishy now. Right, okay, so oh, duh. You could tell I'm not awake yet. Right, hard reset. Now it'll run. Now we're getting a bit of a thunderstorm coming over here. It's getting dark and it's only what? Just turning midday, 12 o'clock. The weather is in the Philippines. We're in July and we're coming into the rainy season. It's now 29.2. It usually gets hotter, but it's pretty quiet today. So right, okay. So we go F disk. We could just come out of the installation. We go F disk. Whoops. Master boot record. We're resetting master boot record. And we'll just go into master boot record. We'll go set primary, and the primary, it doesn't tell me what it is actually, so we're going to do a different method this today. The other ways, as they say. I'm just going to transfer the boot sector system files to the environment. What have I got here? 512 meg. Alright, okay, fair enough. It's basically an update. One sec. Right. Right, okay, we go. If I go to F disk, no, I don't have to do that, do I? I'm going to just go format, C drive, / system files. That's about it, really, isn't it? There should be a partition. There we go. And it's going to transfer the system files, so it gives it a boot sector basically. So DOS shit 22. So now all we got is that. So that's the boot. So it'll boot to that drive. Now what we need to do, we go directly to a drive again. I want to copy the MSCDX, MSCDX. Is it exe? Is it an exe? Or is it? It's an exe, right? There you go. That's files copied. Right, so we got to. That's the Microsoft CD, you know, the loads the CD-ROM driver. Should I actually copy HiMemSys? I'll tell you what, I'll do that as well. So I'll copy A drive, HiMem.sys. You can load that all up. Oh, is he not there? I thought he was there. I thought he was in the actual primary boot. Mustn't be. Okay, okay, mem. We've got mem here, so whoops. Right, I can get the keyboard. Get the debug. I don't need a debug. Attrib, you don't need that. Check disk. No. I'm not going to use the Kcin copy this time, so we're going to use it a different way. Right, so what we need to do now, go to floppy, Did I put it on a CD or did oh, I put it on. It's starting to rain. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to inject the files. So at this moment in time, we've got a boot sector. Now when I release the boot on this, if I go eject, so there's no boot sector, I just reset the computer, it should just give me a DOS environment, and probably ask for a time depending on the version of DOS it is. Well, it is 622, but some versions ask for time and date first off. I think it came in from 3.0. There you go. Some of the older versions, they all just use the date, but I think anything above 5 don't ask time and date unless it's already been preset. Right, okay, so we've got them 2 files. Obviously we've not got edit. Right, we need to now turn it off. So what we do now is we come out of the program, run out the program. Right, we got he did DOS drivers, right. Excuse me. Right, we got where is it? Is it that one? No, it isn't. Which one's the drive? Is it that one? It's that one, isn't it? Oh, it's NT, isn't it? Didn't I call it Windows NT? Or 2000 or something. Which one did I call it? Copy. Image. 4 GB. We can get rid of that one in a minute. Windows NT, right? We want to mount that. Right, so all we got is just the one file in there. Whoops. See my desktop. And we need to go to I'm showing you my desktop here now. 12. Wait, don't mind anyway. There's me, by the way, when I was about 14. No, it wasn't. It's 20, I think. Right, what we need to do now is we need to open up Image CD-ROM drivers. It's that one, isn't it? Well, you don't know, guys, because I'm just sorting it all out now. Right, yeah, no, it's not that one. There is an installation, and I can just... There should be one of them called 400. There it is. That's it's the best compatible the best compatible drive I think I've got. Right, okay, so what we need to do now, shrink that for a minute. We need to put it on this folder, so we go CD-ROM. I'll just put temp for the moment. Right. It's that one, isn't it? It's your one. Right, okay, so we got this. I also want to go and grab a couple of the files, so it's got, because I've been a silly billy. I need to go to phone, and I take that one's populated 500 megabytes. I'm doing it a different way, guys. Bear with me. Copy with, mount that drive as well. Right, if you look here now, I've got the DOS environment. Actually, I'll cut corners. I can just have config this, CD-ROM, cabs, CD-ROM. Is that MTM? Is that the CD-ROM driver? Yes, it is. Right, okay. What I'm going to do is, this is a sneaky one, this. I'm going to do, that's weird, what have we got here? Got the mouse driver, got that, so we got that, we got mouse driver, we got DOS, we got config this, command DOS, setup log, don't need them. Where's auto execute bat? It replaces, right, yeah, because he installed Windows, didn't I? Right, okay. So if I just copy them. Bada-boom. I'm just doing a quick way of doing it instead of having to install it all. I've got the CD-ROM driver and the mouse. The only thing that, let's have a look at that. Open with, I think it's just a notepad file. Yeah, look. So all it is just the CD-ROM drive. We just save it. I'm assuming it's the same with the config sys. So all we'll do is we'll just whoops, bat. Oh yeah, go on, whatever. And we should do that with the config sys. MS-DOS config.sys, yeah. So I'm assuming that. I think we're good to go. Right, I'll just close that out. Whoops. I'm trying not to show you my desktop. Not there's anything on. Oh, you know what? You know, you've got my desktop. There it is. That's what my desktop looks like, guys, by the way. So you can tell what I'm installing and not installing, and what I'm using and what I'm not using. Right, MS-DOS 622, 503, 502. Right, that's the old one, so we can eject that. Eject. Eject that one as well. We can eject that. Right. Right, okay. So we are now here. We'll just close that off now, and we are now going to run. And it should have a CD-ROM drive now. Some of the files might not be accurate, but I'm not bothered. I can just remove all that from Windows. Right, it should now boot with a CD-ROM drive and a mouse. I might be wrong. There you go, it's loading the memory manager. It should install a mouse and a CD-ROM drive, or other way around. No, it'll be the other way around first. CD-ROM drive's actually in the config sys file, in it. And I think this mouse is at the end. There you go, CD-ROM drive, then a mouse, yeah. So I don't know whether or not that load driver there is whether or not it displays within the software of the config sys file, or whether or not it's launched from the MSCDX. There you go, there's the mouse. Right, we're in. We're in like Flim. Right, and we've got a CD-ROM drive, and that's on D. So what we can do now is we can do a naughty one and go point to a disk image, and we're going to go Windows 2000. Right, okay. And I think I'll just run it straight off the disk. You can, if I remember right, whoops, D drive, big There should be a file called i386. Sorry, they changed it, didn't they? So it's i386. But I'm not going to run that actually. I'm just going to run a setup. Is there any parameters? Alright, okay. Won't it launch from that? Is it an update? Yeah, you have to go into the i386. Run setup, I'm assuming. There you go. Insert disk one. Insert. Oh, balls. Set up in a control alt. Will reset computer begin a setup process. Yeah. Yeah, right, okay. Setup. Configure the optionals programs. Installs the minimal Windows 630 on a floppy. Alright, okay. Screens in monochrome. Configure Windows optional programs. And then I'm going to type DOS key. It means when you type something, it stores in a buffer. So you can key press back and forward, and it'll tell you, give you the keys what you've last pressed. Alright, okay. So is that, was it WinNT? Ah, there you go. You can tell it's been a while. Setup needs to know where the 2005 I'm located. Right. It's coming back to me now. It must have been about, 2000. So it's like 20 years ago. A good 20 years ago. When it first came out, I started using 2000. I got the early editions versions. It was like Microsoft done a real mess up with that, because they installed Windows 2000 on machines, and then they installed Windows Millennium, and even though they shared the same icons, obviously one was FAT32 and the other one was the NTFS. You can see that it can hear the rain. Ugh, horrible. So that's how you set it all up. I've done it a different way than others. At one time I would have just built a floppy disk with set up all the mouse drivers, the CD-ROM drivers. You click it all in, and I could just do a system transfer and then just copy the files over onto the main root, and then reboot it, and then make a copy of the files on the system, because I've been bitten on the leg. One thing I hate about the Philippines is either mosquitoes or ants. I've been bitten. I've just realised I got bitten in the night. I've got about 20 bites on my legs. The little things are like cannibals. And now I've got another bite on me, my ankle. And I thought it was itchy, and I thought, just put my hand on, my finger on there, and it's biting me. You little monsters. Can't you tell I moan while I'm waiting? I don't know whether you're into films, guys. Deadpool. Well, obviously we're currently in July 2024. We're on the 6th date, and the new Deadpool's coming out. Deadpool 3, is it? And with Wolverine. I'd be interested to find out what that comes out like. I've been watching some films recently. I'm only talking because this is installing. We're going to be here forever. Unless I fast forward it, because we are going to be here for a lifetime. But what I'll do is I'll put this through the editor. I use DaVinci Resolve to do my videos. I've used different ones, but it seems to be the most friendliest for me. Is it still? Listen to that. That's actually rain. My office is at the back, and we've got like a metal garage roof, and even though we've got soundproofing, you can still hear it. Oh, it's a thunderstorm. What time are we on? 20 past 12 in the afternoon. It's quite dark actually. Cabinet files. They're just basically compressed volumes, aren't they?